Kalaim Lala Hayanaw Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah Hamashiach Wamalakia by Hashem Harwap Kakwarash Barakathum, the water by Babawa Kwam Yasharala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily, and to the men out there teaching the likewise doctrine to say you shalom. Today we're gonna get into a video whereas Esau, he's really showing how weak and afraid he is. Now, we see Esau's crashing out and lashing out as a reaction to the fact that the world has awakened, Salakia, to all the little secrets that he's been trying to hide, all the little wickedness he be doing behind the scenes. But the biggest one is the fact that so-called black people and so-called brown people have awakened to the fact of who we are. And so with that happening, it triggers Esau to go out and to prove his so-called dominance or prove his relevance or to test the waters just to see if people still scared of him. You know, and the answer is no. Ain't nobody, matter of fact, Esau is the last thing on people's mind because all the bull has played out. And that's why he's angry, because people seeing him for who he is and they playing him for weak, like the person he is. And all just like Pete Hegseth, when they addressed the generals and admirals, Trump, when he addressed the generals and admirals, and Stephen Miller, who we found out came to be a tiny top, all that tough talk. Look, man, we from the streets. We know tough people when we see it. That ain't nothing but an act. All of it was an act. And all it proves is that Esau's weak, pathetic, sad, and scared. All that tough shit, man, stop. You ain't, it's like Pimp C said, you ain't no gangster. Stop it. All this manufactured anger. Boy, please, you ain't mad. You are not. Just stop. You just reacting to the fact that the Lord is bringing you back down to where you came from, the base man. Yeah, you're being demoted. That's what it is. That's the word. But let's go ahead and grab the video. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. The name of this video is Sister Says the Aggressive Tactics by Trump Proves They're Weak and Losing the Battle. Exactly. Because they can't get us to react. So they feel like they lose in a step. You know what I'm saying? No, it ain't that. It's your time to fall. That's what it is. So before we get this video, let me get the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Let's get it.
A lot of people looking at the aggressive tactics that the Trump administration and ICE and different departments that's with them are doing. But it's one sister kind of broke down what they're actually doing with the aggressive tactics. Check this out.
Okay, bird's eye view, this will seem to happen very fast, but on the ground, it will feel very, very slow. You have to remember the entire time that they are not winning. That gaining ground is not a win. When you are playing chess and your opponent is taking a bunch of your pieces, but they're using very aggressive, offensive tactics that leave holes, they're betting on you being so frightened by their forwardness that you don't strike and you go defensive mode instead of looking for the gaps in their play. That's one. Two, you need to stay alive. That doesn't mean stay on the land of the living. That means stay alive. Like, your life still means something, and you should still do something with your days, and it should make you feel alive. Last thing, control your controllables. Control your controllables.
Is that they're not winning anything. That's why they're trying to be more aggressive. It's kind of like a dog. A dog that's scared will be quicker to bite you, right? But the dog is actually scared. The dog isn't in a powerful position. So they're using this aggressive tactics because they're scared. They got to keep running around. Why Stephen Miller keeps saying that we're tough and we're going to do this and you're nothing and all that. Why he keeps saying that sort of thing? Because if you're so tough, trust me, people will tell you you're tough. They say, man, they tough. I don't want to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Trying to psychologically break down the people because they're afraid. They're worried. And when you're too aggressive and making just bad moves, that's what she said. Look at the holes in what you're doing and take advantage of that. Because usually when you're too aggressive, you're not thinking straight because you're just going with brute force. And
he's right. They operating strictly on emotion. No wisdom whatsoever. Just impetuous, impulsive emotion takes Esau wherever it pleases. That's why the apostles and the elders told us when we first came into this truth, you will learn to rule over your spirit. Esau does not rule over his spirit. Esau's emotions rule over him. That's why he's looking like the little weak, pale-based man that he is. Let's go.
And the thing is about dealing with anything with people, you got to be more finesse than brute force. Brute force has its place, but it can't be brute force all the time. Right. You actually have to kind of think, because there's going to be so many lawsuits come out of this administration against the government. The government will be paying millions of people lawsuits. I see that coming because everything Trump is doing is not Trump himself. It's underneath the guise of the U.S. government. And it's going to be so many lawsuits coming out that the government going to have to pay. It is crazy.
Man, they might not be paying nobody nothing. This government is doing whatever they want to do. They are infringing on your civil rights and your constitutional amendments just to get fear in the air. You notice that these ICE dudes, these goons, they round up people, and then once they find out they're citizens, they'll let them go. You know why they do that? So whoever let them go can spread fear. This is all this is. It's a failed tactic to gain fear. This has always been Esau's in his playbook. It's not working this time because it's time for him to fall.
The things that they're going to have to pay, that I'm looking at, the violation of rights, arresting people that don't need to be arrested because they didn't break any laws. They're, arresting them because they exercised their constitutional rights.
Is that a paintball gun? My thing is this. Why do these so-called super stormtroopers need all this for civilians, especially in Portland in the frog suits? See, that adds to the fact of how cowardly they are. Esau only gets brave when he can outman you and outgun you. Other than that, he's gonna be a little timid base man.
I mean, yeah, they're weak because they see the.
See, look at them, all tough for what? Against regular citizens? And you can tell these are not. These are just racists in uniform. These are not official officers. They don't look like they're in shape. They don't look like they're a cohesive unit. The uniforms don't even match. And yes, they're not military because military does not cover their faces. So these are just a bunch of police academy rejects, a bunch of fence jumpers who want some payback from high school. That's all they are. Weak and scared, pathetic and sad. And look at this. You got a Jake back there. You know he threw. They're going to turn on him some first chance they get.
The writing on the wall. They see it. But I tell black people we'll be all right. Now, if you're an immigrant, that may be a different situation. And what the sister's saying is, basically, don't get defeated by any of this. You know, just hold your peace. Hold your peace. Enjoy yourself. They got things coming out this weekend. Maybe a movie that you may want to see. You can catch some movies on Netflix, whatever. Okay, do something. You can watch some programming on the African Diaspora News Channel app. Watch that. For the weekend. Catch up on all the videos that we have there. We just don't worry about them people. Don't worry about them. Trust me, because they're gonna tire themselves out and they're gonna expose themselves more than anything else. They're so scared about them Epstein files. Mm-hmm. Sure, all you gotta do is bring that up to them. So where them Epstein files at? You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, they're not winning anything. They're not winning a thing. Trust me, we always gonna win in the end.
That's right. All right, we can come out of this. Yeah, Esau showing fear. That's all, because he ain't scaring nobody. All that tough talk, all that. They so stupid. They don't see how they look because they're so charged with emotion. You see how emotion can make a fool out of you? Yeah, that's what emotion is doing to the whole nation of Edom. Now let's go to let's get some scripts. Let's go to Revelation chapter 12. Verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. He knows it's his time to fall. He knows the elites, they know the prophecies just like we do. They know what time it is. Let's go to Book of Sirach, chapter 9. Verse 18. A man of an ill tongue is dangerous in his city, and he that is rash in his talk shall be hated. Yeah, they're very rash. Get a definition. Rash. Displaying or proceeding from a lack of careful consideration of the possible consequences of an action. See? Rash, impetuous, impulsive, not thought out at all. They just run it straight on emotion, all gas, all emotion. That's how you make mistakes. Now let's go to 2nd Ezra. And he's in a constant state of being spooked. Esau cannot relax because he's fearful of so many things at the same time. He don't know how to feel. He's fearful that his lies gonna become exposed, his secrets gonna become exposed. He can never rest. Let me show you. They always worried about something. There's something that they did in the past is going to catch up with them. Let me get this real quick. Yeah, here you go. This is Isaiah chapter 48, verse 22. There is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. Because they always worried about their wickedness catching up with them. They can't relax. All that money they got, they just as stressed out as they want to be. Now let's go to 2nd Ezra. And that's another testimony to the fact that just because you rich don't mean that you guaranteed peace. It's like Big said, more money, more problems. Exactly. All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 11. verses 39 and 40. Art not thou that it remains of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? Exactly. They making too many mistakes. They've been shooting themselves in the foot all year. It's time for them to fall. Verse 40. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. For so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. That's why he can't get no rest. Scared that all his wickedness is going to come back to bite him, and it is. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord Yahweh. That's why we ain't tripping. We have a God, homie. Don't nobody care about your little gun. We have a God. We have a Hamashiach. We have a fleet of chariots. That's why we ain't tripping. We ain't tripping, baby. Do you prove that you're Esau? So the Lord can go ahead and throw you in them chains so we can say, I told you so. Do it. Do it. Let's go to Amos. Esau around here worshiping guns. Boy, one thing you need to realize, guns run out of bullets. You putting your trust in that? Amos chapter 9, verse 11. This is why they spooked. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. See, that third temple being built right before the eyes. It's not a building, it's people. Verse 12, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all of the heathen, which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doeth this. Mm-hmm. They feel it closing in on them too. See where else they scared. Let's go to Joel. Chapter 3. Verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah. They shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord Yahweh have spoken it. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else they scared. Let's go to Jeremiah. Chapter 5. Verse 14. This is why they scared. Wherefore thus saith the Lord, God of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. Their truth. They can't sleep at night, baby. Yeah. Let's get this one. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 19. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked. For there shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. Exactly. See, we already know your future. It's you that don't want to accept your future. We accept it. We cool with it. Okay, Lord. Okay, yeah, y'all. Yeah, Lord. Yeah, get them, please. Because if y'all think that y'all don't deserve to be punished, then you are truly wicked. You do all this wickedness and then say, God bless America. What particular God are you talking about? It's not Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, the God of righteousness. So you must be talking about Satan. Because only Satan will co-sign all the wickedness that this country has ever done. You're not talking about the Holy One, not the Ancient of Days. Go to 2 Corinthians. Chapter 11. Verse 6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. So that's basically saying these people choose to take offense in the fact that the prophets be cussing. So y'all curse. And guess what? The word curse is not what you think. It's not meaning bad four-letter words. It means that you put a curse on people that the Lord do something to them. It doesn't mean a bunch of four-letter words. The Lord and the disciples, they use cuss words, not the ones we use today. They prefer to people as animals. And just like the Lord called, I think, the Pharisees vipers. Yeah, that was considered a term of disrespect. Serpents. Yeah, that was a term of disrespect. So you getting offended by cuss words, you just looking for a reason not to believe the word, because guess what? I promise you, the same ones that so-called get offended by us cursing, they don't get offended when their favorite rapper cussing. They don't get offended when their favorite actor is in a movie cussing. They don't get offended when they at home cussing out their kids. So miss me with that hypocrisy. Get this one. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. This is why we ain't scared. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yet I will help thee, yet I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 13. For I, the Lord, thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. Isaiah verse 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob. That means you defenseless. A worm can't defend himself. And ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Isaiah chapter 44, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. That's why we ain't tripping. Matter of fact, the Lord told us you was gonna do everything you doing today. And he told us what was going to happen to you after you do these things. So There's nothing you can do to change your future. Go to Matthew chapter 24. What is that? 19. It's like it. That ain't what I was looking for. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Let's go to the book of Joel one more time. This is why we ain't tripping on that performance you call trying to scare somebody. Boy, sit down. Joel chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people should never be ashamed. That's why we ain't tripping on your little fear tactics, homie, because we know you a punk. You've been crying since Genesis. Luke chapter 2, verse 35. That ain't it. Slocky. Why did I write that? Let's try this one. Okay. Go to Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. When anybody hears this word, it draws out whatever is really inside you. If you buck up against the word, guess what? You probably ain't an Israelite. Because what you get from the word is that your power, your authority, your place in society is now being threatened versus righteousness prevailing over the earth. See, if you were Israelite or if you were even righteous, you would be drawn to this word because you want to know what's about to happen to your enemies and your people. But if you just buck up with all kind of hate and all kind of tough guy accent, like you just tough guy, you ain't an Israelite, because that shows that you despise the word. So if you despise the word, you probably an enemy of the throne anyway. You feel like your status, your position in this world is being threatened. It is. But we're not the one that's going to take you down. The Lord is going to take you down with the 144,000 and the chariots of Israel. So we ain't tripping about what happened to us, long as you get what you got coming. That's all we want to see. Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. This is another thing that's striking fear in them. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. This is when the 144,000 get beamed up and come back down as immortals and start putting foot to ass. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. That means completion, 7. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. Now let's go to the Apocrypha. Let's go to the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. We start at verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. There it is. And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they had looked for. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision in the proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore we have erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yet we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. See, this is what they're going to be saying in that day. They thought, oh, they're going to be like, oh, man, we thought they was crazy. Oh, they were telling the truth the whole time. Ah, missile, boom. Over. Yep. Let's go to Jeremiah. Chapter 17. Verse 5, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. Yeah. You trust in these lying politicians. You trust in your gun. You trust in ICE keeping you safe. You trust in the military keeping you safe. But your heart departed from the Lord. You ain't depending on him. Probably because you know that the Lord is not with you. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity. That's the United States all day. Woe mean destruction. Go to Proverbs chapter 11. Verse 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. That's why we ain't tripping. We ain't tripping. We just gonna stay out y'all way because we know y'all very emotional, impulsive, reckless, destructive, violent. You're crashing out because you've never been in this position before. So we understand how you feel. That's why we stand out your way. So you can continue to shoot yourself in the foot. All across the board. All eat them. Shooting themselves in the foot. Saying stuff they shouldn't have said. Getting fired. They get back to their employers, now they getting fired. Lies catching up with them. Lashing out, crashing out. Crying in their cars. Yeah, we understand. That's why we stand out your way, because we know the fear you feel because you've never been in this position before. So you gonna do some stuff you never did before. Because you follow wherever your emotions take you. You don't rule over your spirit. You're too emotional. That's why we stand out your way, because we know that your emotions are going to lead you to do something to somebody out of wickedness, out of hate, out of jealousy, out of envy. These are all the emotions Esau is feeling right now while his kingdom is crashing. So he's going to lash out. Stay out of his way. Let him shoot himself in the foot. This is another thing they're scared of when 144,000 come down. Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So if the saints gonna take the kingdom, that means it ain't gonna be no more presidents, ain't gonna be no more Democrats, Republicans. No, it's only gonna be slaves from the nation of Edom. Proverbs chapter 24. Verse 19. Fret not thyself because of the evil man, neither be thou envious at the wicked, for there shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. We read this, but it's a more on to this. Verse 21, my son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both? Stay out their way, and meddle not with them that are given to change. Meaning, worshiping false idols. You know, Sunday is false idol worship day. They want us to celebrate the pagan holidays. They want to do everything the heathen nations do. Let them do it, because you don't want to be around when their judgment comes. I did write that twice. Well, no, I didn't. Anywho, let's keep going. Sirach, chapter 25. Verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that has joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. You just don't know how many Israelites, how many prophets wish they could see what we're seeing now, the fall of our enemies. These are good times we in. Good times. Our daddies, our granddaddies, great granddaddies wish they could live to see the fall of this man. Let's see what else he's scared of. Let's go to Blue Letter tripping. Hold on, y'all. Okay, Salaki, for that, I had to restart my phone because for some reason the Blue Letter crashed, but it's reset everything cool. Now let's go to Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12. This is something else they're afraid of. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Don shall fall by the sword. These are Edomite cities and towns. You are a people, for you are a place. Verse 14, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger, and according to mine fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 17, and I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, when I shall lay my vengeance upon them. We ain't tripping. That's why we ain't scared. We have a God. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 3. 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. And I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Since you got your goons going nationwide, just harassing and provoking and kidnapping. The Lord said he's going to prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since you don't have a problem with murder, you won't mind being murdered yourself. My Salakia, not even murdered. You won't mind being killed for righteousness' sake. Verse 7, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Now let's go to the grand finale, the book of Obadiah. Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? See, yeah, they pride up there. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. He gonna do what we told you. We ain't tripping. Because guess what? When you threaten us, the Lord takes that personally. You don't know what you up against, E. Verse 9, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Verse 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. The Lord gonna do all this to you. Verse 16, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually, all 16 nations, not just Edom. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Wait. 17, Salah. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble, and they shall kindle in them, and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Verse 21, and Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. Let's get a couple more. another reason why they scared. Isaiah chapter 14, verse start at 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. We already know what's about to happen to you. That's why we ain't tripping. Let me get one more, we can close. Psalm chapter 73, verse 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of Yahweh, then understood I therein. That's where all the understanding coming from, baby. So that scripture basically saying, until you get into this word and understand prophecy, understand who's who in the Bible. And the elder made a very good point. He said, in order to truly understand the Bible, you have to understand the racial aspect of the Bible, knowing who's who. What nation is what nation today? Like the nation of Put. That's a Hamite nation. The tribe of Manasseh. Those are the Cubans. See what I'm saying? You got to know, because Esau changed everybody's identities to hide his. So you have to know all the biblical nations and what they translate to today. For example, the nation of Edom, so-called white people. Until you understand that, you don't have any understanding of this book. Only thing you can relate to the Bible is all them Christian fairy tales / lies you grew up on. And they don't hold no weight. So y'all better get into this truth, because just like Esau, y'all ain't got but a short time. Call Allah Imlala Hayanaw Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, Wamalakia, by Hashem, Harawat, Wakakorash, Barakathum, the water Bible Ball, Wakwam Yasharala. Shalom.